Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Tuesday afternoon from Lisbon. This is Region 1 Baseball today on yourliveevent.com, featuring the Lisbon Broncos and the Central Cass Squirrels. Lisbon at 4-2 on the season, 2-1 in Region 1 play, going up against Central Cass, which stands at 3-1 on the season and 2-1 in Region 1 play as well. I'm Chase Miller alongside Brent Dick. Thanks so much for tuning in. And for the Lisbon faithful out there, it's been a while. 1962 was the last year they had a varsity-fledged North Dakota High School Association team. They've had Babe Ruth. They've had Legion Baseball. They're the defending Class B champs in Legion from just last summer. But, Brent, the nice thing about it here is you're able to get the school ball going as well now. And if you're a baseball fan, from Babe Ruth to Legion, you can just add to it during the school year now this season.
Yeah, just going back to that 1962 season and reading an article by Rich Lucina he put in the Gazette talking about the last pitcher to throw a pitch across the plate was Jim Hecox back in 1962, and that was, I guess, for a state championship game. Lisbon came up short in that. They were state runner-ups that year. But Jordan Bittner getting the first pitch for Lisbon, opening things up for Lisbon in the 2025 season. So I guess Lisbon baseball is back.
Lisbon baseball is back at home again. To Brent's point, 1962 they lost to Drayton by 1. 3-2 was the final in that championship game. But for the Lisbon Broncos, they're going to be very much in contention here in Region 1 early on this season. Northern Cass, both of these two teams able to see the Kindred Richland Vikings kind of maybe be at the top of what it is. You have Oaks, you also have Oak Grove, and Hankinson, Fairmount, Campbell, Tinto, Rosso, Lidgerwood for that co-op as well here in Region 1 this season. We'll take a quick break, and we come back after this. We'll preview what's to come with our starting lineups, but also we'll take a look at what has happened so far early on this season. But both teams, again, have been able to get out to the baseball field a good chunk amount of time so far this year. 5th game for the Central Cass Squirrels. This would be the 7th game for the Lisbon Broncos. We'll let you know how they've gotten to their respective records next year in Lisbon.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals, proudly serving the community for over 40 years. As an experienced independent agency, they partner with top-rated insurance companies to provide affordable and tailored solutions for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. When it comes to crop insurance, Walt and Grant deliver unmatched expertise and personalized service. With the March 15th sales closing deadline approaching, now is the perfect time to trust your crop protection needs to the team who puts you first. To get started with a free quote, head to nd-insure.com for more info.
Hi, this is Jim, and with Bernie Berkemeyer, we're inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join us in enchanting Ireland June 25th to July 4th. Experience the ancient history, natural beauty, and the warm hospitality of Ireland. We travel across this beautiful country visiting places like the Kilkenny Castle and the breathtaking cliffs of Moll. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, for more information, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Plus, Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting and paint mixing section for your own do-it-yourself projects. From their grill selection with Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to their customer laser engraving center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
You don't have to go alone. I will bring you through the storm. I will lift you up
As we continue on our pregame show here today from LFD Field, the Lisbon Fire Department Field, also Sandager Park here in Lisbon, North Dakota. A gorgeous day, maybe a little chilly, but compared to what we could be having this time of the season with snow or possibly some rain, not too shabby of a spring day at all. Taking a look at the visitors, head coached by Dustin Maggio. So far this season, 3 wins, 1 loss. Their loss coming in their season opener at the hands of Kindred, 6-1 in a Region 1 contest. In a non-region game, they beat the Vikings 8-1. On April the 10th, they defeated Oaks by 9 and 10-run ruled the Ball Stars of Hankinson, Fairmount, Rossalt, Campbell, Tinta, Lidgerwood in their last game out back on April the 11th in a 10-0 win. Coming up after this game this week for the Squirrels, they will host Oak Grove on Thursday. Then the week after, make their way to Northern Cass on April the 22nd and host the Inderland Eagles on the 24th. One for the Lisbon Broncos, head coached by Brad Bittner. So far on the season for their first varsity campaign. Again, they've had Babe Ruth, they've had Legion, but first varsity in terms of high school since 1962. The Broncos 4-2 on the season, picking up a win against the Ball Stars back on April the 8th, 4-3, then losing to the Ball Stars in a non-region counter, 9-7. From there, a loss to Northern Cass by 1, 2-1 on April the 10th, and they defeated Northern Cass on April the 10th, 9-0. And they swept Oak Grove 12-5 and 16-3 for the Broncos. Next game up for Lisbon, they'll make the trek to Enderlin, and that'll be on Thursday. Then they will square off at Kindred for a doubleheader. We'll have that for you on yourliveevent.com. They were scheduled to host the Vikings a couple of weeks ago, but rain and weather and snow had better thoughts of it from Mother Nature, so they will make that up as part of a true doubleheader on the 22nd in Kindred. Both will be Region 1 counters, and we'll have that for you on yourliveevent.com. For Central Cass and Lisbon, all roads lead to Starion Field eventually. Once you get to Fargo, May 14th is the Region Baseball Tournament. The 15th, they will play again. The 16th, have a day off with the track and field meet in Castleton. Then back at it again on that Saturday as well. So that's a look at what's ahead, as we'll have our umpire crew coming out here for this particular contest is Brad Bittner, and alongside Dustin Maggio ready to come out as you have Chris Larson calling balls and strikes. Pat Adair will be in the field here today in Lisbon. We'll take one more quick break, and we come back after this and remind you what's still ahead on yourliveevent.com throughout the rest of the week here as we bring you into Easter weekend here in Lisbon.
At Stock Growers Bank in Lisbon, let them turn your dreams into reality and help watch them grow. Loan Officer Wyatt Smith will give you a tailored solution to fit your unique requests. From farming, buying a new home, or investing in your future, he has you covered. Stock Growers Bank celebrating 125 years of banking in your local communities. For more information, call Wyatt at 701-683-5000. Stock Growers Bank, where your success is their top priority. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartments. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
In today's fast-paced world, your business needs more than just numbers. It needs an alphabet roadmap with Olson Accounting. A is for accounts payable, where every dollar counts. B stands for balance sheets, keeping your finances on track. And C represents cash flow, the lifeblood of your business. At Olson Accounting, they're more than just number crunchers. Discover the difference with their trusted expertise, personalized service by visiting colsoncpa.com or call 701-683-2700. Olson Accounting of Lisbon.
As we come back here before we get to our starting lineups in the opening pitch and take a look at the batting order, Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you. Brent, you've been part of this community for quite a while now, and being able to be part of the Babe Ruth and the youth programs as well here for baseball. I guess, what was the buzz around town? I know there's been a handful of years where folks were looking to get, softball and baseball to be at the high school level. Same thing for softball. There's fast pitch and there's elementary and stuff throughout the summer months. But what has the buzz kind of been through town here once, last year that, okay, or over the winter months, okay, it's getting approved now. It's a matter of, going from being approved to, implementing it. Just kind of what's the talk have been since it got approved, Brad?
Yeah. I think mostly it's about time that it happened. So, like you're talking about, it's really been a movement probably for at least 5 years. It had been before the school board, and then it was voted down, and then it came back again, and got approved. So we're here playing, Lisbon baseball. They're putting a lot of work into the field. They have some projects planned. Getting a new scoreboard, new dugouts, working on home plate, and there's probably a couple other things going on down here. So putting a lot of energy and a lot of, resources and money into the field down here to get everything, up to make it an outstanding baseball complex for the future.
And that's the nice thing is, what you're doing. You and I were talking that, as much as it is about high school, you do have other programs like Legion at Babe Ruth, other areas that you utilize this field for practices, for games, and it's going to be fun to see coming up next year, not this summer. It's actually the State A Legion tournament is going to be in Castleton this summer, but you were mentioning that the State B Legion tournament will be here next summer, Brent.
Yeah, yep, and, we tried to get the Legion tournament. I think they put in a bid right around 5 years ago, and we were denied. And then Sarah Lyons was working on that with the rec board and the park board, and finally we got the State Legion B tournament down here next year. And just another kind of a feather in the cap. After you win the State Legion tournament, you start to get noticed a little bit, and put in our bid, and we got it.
And we're going to take a quick break as they're announcing the lineups here. We'll get through the national anthem, but we'll take a break over that. When we come back, we'll get to our starting lineups here today for both the visiting Central Cass Squirrels and the hometown Lisbon Broncos, and then we'll get to the opening pitch as well. That and more still to come here today from Lisbon. This is Region 1 Baseball on yourliveevent.com.
Building Center in Lisbon, North Dakota is Southeastern North Dakota's premier building supply headquarters. They have it all from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell and have over 110 combined years of experience. With their large inventory to sell from and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop, and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial, and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals proudly serving the community for over 40 years. As an experienced independent agency, they partner with top-rated insurance companies to provide affordable and tailored crop, business, home, and auto insurance. When it comes to crop insurance, Walt and Grant deliver unmatched expertise and personalized service. With the March 15th sales closing deadline approaching, now is the perfect time to trust your crop protection needs to the team who puts you first. To get started with a free quote, head to nd-insure.com for more info.
As we come back here to Lisbon for the starting lineups, let's get to it here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Their 1 through 9 in the batting order will be Jack Everson, the junior shortstop, batting leadoff. Grayson Lewis, the junior second baseman, batting second. Cale Pearson, the senior catcher, batting third. Noah Muckow, the cleanup batter, the senior at first base. Ryan Osmanstead, the sophomore third baseman, batting fifth. Keegan Peterson, the junior pitcher on the mound today for Central Cass, batting sixth. Easton Holland, the sophomore right fielder, batting seventh. Owen Newdell, the senior left fielder, batting eighth. And Lucas Christensen, the sophomore center fielder, batting ninth. Again, Everson, Lewis, Pearson, Muckow batting in the cleanup spot. Osmanstead batting 5th, Peterson 6th, Holland, Nudell, and Christensen here for Central Cass. The Squirrels in their red tops, the white pants, white numerals and lettering, Central Cass across the front. For the Lisbon Broncos, you'll have Howard in left field with Welter in center, Hoffer in right, Johnson at first, Jacob Lyons at second base, Cordero at short, Moss at third, Eli Lyons behind the plate, and Jordan Bittner will be in the circle today for the Broncos. Broncos with their white pants, the black tops. They have I'll make that red numerals here outlined in white. Broncos across the front for Lisbon. A regular scheduled 7-inning baseball game outside of if there is a mercy rule, but we'll get to that if that ever does come up throughout the course of today. Calling balls and strikes, Chris Larson, again padded air in the circle just after the 5 o'clock hour. We're ready to get underway here from Lisbon for a little Region 1 baseball. Opening pitch time. As Chris Larson gives the go-ahead to Bittner, the righty versus the righty Everson. This one will miss for a ball. Opening pitch at 5:01. A sneaky big game in the region early on here. Both teams at 2-1 on the upper half of the region, vying for some postseason position. As this one misses for a ball, now at 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here. The Squirrels, they've been the team to beat in recent years here. They've won 4 consecutive Region 1 titles. This one runs in at the elbow, now 3-0, defeating Northern Cass last season. 11 state tournament appearances all time in program history. 2 state titles and 54 in 2013. This one in there for a strike, now at 3-1. Everson, Lewis, Pearson here for the Central Cass Squirrels. As got a couple of players coming from Leonard that competed in a golf tournament earlier, so they'll be joining the crew, as this one is a 5-pitch walk for Everson, who climbs aboard, and there's a runner at first base. Brody Keegley, the sophomore, and also Jacob Thompson, the senior, are making their way. They had a very nice day in Leonard to compete for golf, and now you dual sport athlete get to go to Lisbon before you get to go back to Castleton a little bit later tonight to enjoy a Tuesday evening. Moss playing in with the bag at third. This one is fouled, and this one will be into the parking lot here for a strike. It's now 0-1. Grayson Lewis, the junior second baseman, as Moss again trying to take away any bunt situation. Johnson holding the runner, Everson at first. The righty, Jordan Bittner, with the pitch. Good swing and miss, challenging him. Now 0-2 to the number 2 batter here in the Central Cass lineup. Wind blowing a little bit from left to right. Deepest part of the ballpark in left center field here. This one is smothered in the dirt, nicely done by Eli Lyons. Now 1-2. About 330 down the left field and right field lines. Left center, kind of old Yankee Stadium, where it jets out to almost 430 feet. The 1-2 pitch, fouled. Lewis doing a good job battling early on here, and we'll keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. For more high school baseball and softball and alongside track and field, to see our schedule throughout the spring, go to our website, yourliveevent.com. Pickoff throw, sliding back in safely there is Everson. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes here with Lewis. Righty-righty matchup with Bittner. 1-2 off speed, got him out in front. Good curveball. Underhands it to Johnson. 1-3 on the putout. It is a productive out as Everson gets into scoring position, and there's 1 down. As Cale Pearson, the senior catcher, comes up to the plate. And Brent, that was a really nice pitch there by Jordan Bittner right there. He saw some fastballs, some off speed, got Lewis out in front, and did a good job feeling his own position.
Yeah, that's just one of Jordan's go-to pitches. He'll come back with that. You'll see that a number of times throughout the game.
So runner at second now is Everson. We'll see what the number 3 batter Pearson can do as Cale takes a strike at the knee, 0-1. Game number 5 of the season for Central Cass. For the Broncos, this is game number 7. And both teams 2-1 in Region 1 play. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss up. Now 1-1. Noah Muckow due up next here for Central Cass in the 4th spot in the lineup. As Bittner looks back, the runner, the 1-1. Off speed, backhanded there by Eli Lyons. Now it's 2-1. Not too shabby of a spring, though, of a day. Might have a little camp out a little bit later on. Might see some bonfires going. Saw that earlier in the weekend. Here's the 2-1. That'll be a fastball out of the zone. Now 3-1. Saw a 5-pitch, 3-ball count, 3-1 count to Jack Everson. Grayson Lewis able to foul off a couple before he grounded out. Pearson pitch number 5 in his at-bat. Fouls it back, and we'll have the first full count for Jordan Bittner here on the mound on this Tuesday afternoon. Taking his lead from second is Everson. The payoff pitch upcoming from Bittner. Second walk of the afternoon here for Bittner. And runners at first and second now for Central Cass as the cleanup batter and the senior first baseman Muckow comes up to the plate.
Next up, Noah Muckow, number 23, playing first base.
As you'll have a courtesy runner coming into the game as well for Central Cass. That'll be number 7, Aiden Thummel, the sophomore.
Aiden Thummel, pitch running.
So Thummel will come in for Pearson. That's the one thing with high school. I don't mind that rule, Brent. You know, try to keep the game rolling for catchers and pitchers when you can kind of bring a runner in. As Bittner looks back, the lead runner, and Everson at second. For a ball, it's 1-0. I think what it does, it just keeps the pace of play a little bit going, and then you don't have to sit there as long between.
Yeah, especially for that catcher having to take off the gear, get it back on. It helps out a lot.
1-0 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Now 2-0 as Central Cass doing a good job right now laying off some pitches as we'll have a quick conference on the mound here. On the Bank North scoreboard, still scoreless, top of the first inning. Bank North been a trusted financial partner for generations. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And here at the Sandager Park and the Lisbon Fire Department field, able to see turf on the mound here, Brent, which we're starting to see that be a lot more of places. Turf maybe at the mound and also behind home plate. Also missed out of the zone. Now 3-0.
Yeah, I think you just go and you take a look at what Lemoore has done with their field over there, and that's kind of what Lisbon is, looking forward for, in the future for our field.
The 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike, now 3-1. We'll see if Jordan Bittner can fight back a little bit here. 3 balls and a strike. Central Cass is looking for a blast in the outfield somewhere here from Noah and see if he can get some base runners moving around. 3-1, big swing. Now it's 3-2. So after 3 straight balls, a couple strikes here for Bittner. Pitch number 6 of the at-bat to Noah. Runner at first is Thummel. Runner at second is Everson. A 3-2. And Bittner gets his first strikeout. Strike 3 swinging, and there's 2 down. Large out as Ryan will come up to the plate, the sophomore third baseman. Osman Stead here for Central Cass. Jordan Bittner's one quality pitch away from getting out of a little pickle here in the top of the first. So it'll miss for a ball. It's 1-0. Bittner with the 1-0 offering. Takes a long look at the batter. And the runner, this one fires in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Both teams back in action on Thursday. Central Cass on their all-turf newly baseball field will be hosting Oak Grove. Well, for the Lisbon Broncos, they will take the short trek to Enderlin for a good old rivalry game between the Eagles and the Broncos. This one runs in and will hit them. So Ryan will take a hit-by pitch, and the bases will be loaded here with no hits to speak of. But there is 3 free passes, a walk to Everson, a walk to Pearson, and a hit batter here by Osmondstead. Now Keegan Peterson, a chance to help his own cause, will come up to the plate. Bases full of squirrels, nowhere to put Peterson. I'll be in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Central Cass has yet to play to run across, but a big chance here in the top of the first. Bittner. The 0-1 goes up high. Now 0-2 is 1 strike away from having 0 runs come across here in the top of the first. Here's the 0-2. That'll miss outside. Now 1-2. And Eli Lyons did a nice job behind the plate so far today, Brent, on a couple of pitches out of the zone, keeping the baseball in front of him or seeing the backhand. The 1-2. Off speed, well, right on cue. Eli smothers another one. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Eli's a good fit for that catcher position. One of the hardest working players on the field is your catcher, and that's where Eli Lyons excels at.
So after getting ahead, no balls, 2 strikes, Keegan has worked the count to a 2-2 against Bittner, and now will work the count full at 3-2. The 4th batter here of the inning for Central Cass that has seen at least a 3-ball count. So Squirrels making Bittner work early. Payoff pitch. That'll be a walk. And the Squirrels get the first run of the game. As you will see, the runner coming in from from third base here. With Everson picking up the run driven in is Peterson with the bases loaded walk. Now Easton Holland, the sophomore right fielder, takes a strike at 0-1. So far for our Central Cass, it's the small ball variety, taking the free passes, laying off some pitches around the zone. 0-1, swung on and missed. Now it's 0-2. Jordan Bittner was in the same spot a batter ago to Peterson, but would love to get a punch out here to end the first. The 0-2. Strike 3 looking, and that'll retire the side. There was 1 run on no hits, no errors, and bases full of Squirrels after a half inning. We have a new score on the Bank North scoreboard. It's Central Cass 1. The Lisbon Broncos coming to the plate next here in Lisbon.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customers satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has brought in to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
High school baseball today here on YourLiveEvent.com from Lisbon as we get to the Broncos starting 9 here today from their batting order. Batting leadoff is Jordan Bittner here, the junior pitcher. Cameron Cordero batting second, the junior shortstop. Elliot Welter, the senior center fielder, is batting third. And then you have Mr. Howard Jaden, the senior left fielder, batting fourth. Eli Lyons, the junior catcher, batting fifth, with Jackson Hoffer, the senior right fielder, batting sixth. Colton Johnson, the senior first baseman, batting seventh, with Rylan Moss, the freshman third baseman, eighth, and Jacob Lyons, the senior second baseman, is batting ninth. We'll get to the infield and outfield placements here for the Squirrels as Keegan Peterson on the mound delivers the first pitch strike to Pearson behind the plate, and it's 0-1. Newdell in left with Christensen in center, Holland in right, Muckow at first, Lewis at second, Everson at short, and Osmanstead stands his ground over at third base. This one misses for a ball, and now it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the opposing pitcher here, Peterson to Bittner. A fastball at the knee for a strike. It's 1-2. Lisbon Broncos a chance to play high school, North Dakota high school sanctioned baseball here. The breaking ball, that'll miss. Now 2-2. As Peterson looks back in here to Pearson behind the dish. First time again since 1962 for the Broncos. This one's going to be hit on a line to the center fielder. Christensen comes in. Allowed out number 1, and there's 1 down.
Now coming up to bat is number 2, Cam Cordero, playing shortstop for the Broncos.
As Cordero will dig in now here for the Lisbon Broncos. If you're Jordan Bittner, you tattooed that ball, Brent. Just unfortunately, Christensen didn't have to move much there in center.
Yeah, little line drives are hard ones to to field out there. It was a good play by your center fielder.
Here's the pitch to Cordero. That'll miss out of the zone. It's 1-0. Cordero, the junior shortstop here, batting second. Has some speed to turn as well if he can put one in play. One pitch in there for the strike. It's 1-1 and very similar to Bittner, seeing Peterson locate that breaking ball early on here. 1-1. This one will miss out of the zone. It's 2-1. So Central Cass, if you're just joining us, able to get a bases loaded walk. As this one misses low, it's 3-0. As Pearson was able to get the bases loaded walk that scored Everson. This one's going to be popped up out of play. And we'll have our first full count here for Keegan Peterson on the mound. 3-2 pitch. And Cordero draws a walk. First base runner of the game for the Broncos with Elliot Welter, the senior center fielder, coming to the plate.
Next up for the Broncos is Elliot Welter, number 16.
As Osmanstead plays even with the bag at third. Infield looking for a double play ball here. We'll see what Welter can do. So far, 5 base runners aboard combined between these two teams and no hits. Hit batter and 4 walks combined between Peterson and alongside with Jordan Bittner. This one in there for a strike. 0-1 here to Welter. As Keegan Peterson looks back into Pearson behind the plate. This one fouled. And it's 0-2. All I know is the pizza, the popcorn, everything underneath that smells really good right now in the supper hour, Brent.
Yeah, I think she's getting to be about that time.
No balls, 2 strikes. Peterson with the quick throw, diving back in safely. Muckow there providing the tag on Cordero, but Cameron slides in safely and will do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. 1 down here, bottom of the first inning, Region 1 baseball today in Lisbon. This one gets through the glove of Pearson. Going to second as Cordero takes a big turn around second. He'll stay there. So getting an extra 90 feet on the pass ball, which will allow Welter now to have a runner in scoring position here at second base. As Pearson will talk with Peterson with the runner, just making sure he's got the signs all set to go once you get to a runner. The question is, will we ever see the technology from the Major League Baseball make its way down to high school level, Brent, where all you had to do is just tap on your wrist and, you got a little microphone there for the pitcher to say fastball outside?
Yeah, I guess I'm not really in favor of that, but
1 ball, 2 strikes. That'll miss, 2-2.
but I'm a bit older than these guys out there playing today, so that might be something that they want to see.
You don't even really hear about it too much
No.
anymore in majors unless the equipment's not working.
That's right. Yep, that is true.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cordero stands at second here as Welter swung on and miss. And Peterson gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 down, bottom of the first. As Jaden Howard, the senior left fielder, will step in and have a chance to tie here for the Broncos.
Number 7, Jaden Howard.
Peterson works with an off-speed pitch. That'll miss for a ball. It's 1-0. Eli Lyons due up next if Howard can get aboard. Cordero drew a full count walk. Got to second base on a pass ball. This one in there for a strikeout, 1-1 for Central Cass. 8-9-1 batters due up in the top of the second. Owen Newdell to lead things off for Central Cass. Peterson with the pitch. Pearson having to get out of his crouch. Makes it 2-1. Much as talked about Lyons, Pearson getting some work in as well behind the plate.
Had to stretch up to get that one.
Enough room for the backstop where if it gets by the catcher, you're easily getting the extra 90 feet. Here's the 2-1 offering. Check swing, went through the zone. Now it's 2-2. Well, for Jaden Howard, looking to put one in play here and force the defense to, if you do get out, retire it on a quality play. And seeing if he can bring in Cordero. This one's going to be in the dirt. Cordero's going to sprint down the throw. Would have been close, but off the third baseman's glove as Cordero slides into third base. And now it's a full count here to Howard. Nice throw by Pearson. Osmondstead there at third, but as he was looking to apply the tag, the ball just came out of the glove, and Cordero slides in safely. Here's the pitch. Did not go through, and it is. Runners at the corner, second free pass. There's 2 down here, and Eli Lyons, the junior catcher, will bat from the right-handed side, and looking to tie this one up for the Broncos. Nicely done by Howard Brent to work a count right there and not go through that zone after checking it earlier in the count.
Yeah, just show good patience, good discipline at the plate for Jaden Howard.
As Lyons sees this one, missed for a ball. It's 1-0. Broncos have put some runs up this season, particularly in their last couple of games. The Grovers played in 28 runs in 2 games against Oak Grove. There's Keegan Peterson right now. 2 walks, a strikeout. A line drive out with Bittner. This one swung on a miss for the strike. Head coach Brad Bittner relays the signs. Sometimes you get into a stealing situation here with the runner at first base. There's the pick by Peterson to Macau at first. Able to slide back in safely there was Howard. 1-2. Out in front, breaking ball. Pearson applies the tag, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left. We played 1 on the Bank North scoreboard. It's 1-0 Squirrel Central Cass coming to the plate in the second.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Leslie, or Carol to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
What's going on today?
I've got a planter in the shop, and I had the guys from Agassi Precision Ag come over and do an inspection.
You upgrading systems or working on maintenance?
Both, actually. We walked some fields last summer and found areas where we can improve. So we are installing Delta Force and some new opening discs.
I bet we're in the same boat. I should give them a call.
Yep, they'll come out and look over the planter with you and put a plan together. They are the guys I go to for answers.
Agassi Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Call 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Hey Lisbon, it's time to rally behind our favorite team. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are sending all our best wishes to the Broncos as they hit the court and field this season. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are proud to support our teams and community. Let's show our Broncos that we're with them every step of the way. Go Broncos! Your dedication and spirit makes us all proud. From all of us at the Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters, we're cheering for you.
Top of the second we go. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you here in the Region 1 baseball from Lisbon between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Lisbon Broncos. 8, 9, and 1 batters due up here for Central Cass. Nudell, Christensen, then back to the top of the lineup with Everson. Bentner delivers a first pitch strike, and we're off and running here in the top of the second. Well, for both pitchers, some free passes in terms of the walks. That was the variety for the Squirrels. This one swung on and missed. It's 0-2. They left the bases loaded, but they were able to get 3 walks and a hit batter and get 1 run across in the top of the first. Bentner trying to find his rhythm. 3 pitches, and there's good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Strike 3 looking back-to-back strikeouts here for Bentner.
Yeah, Jordan's did a good job settling down. Had a little trouble there starting out that first inning. Come back now working ahead of the runners. Seen that the last 2 batters.
I'm just going to say that could have been a lot bigger of an inning for Central Cass, so just to minimize it to 1 run, Brent, we might be talking about that later on in the game.
Yep, definitely.
Bentner throws another strike. It's 0-1. In that first inning combined between the 2 pitchers, there was 6 free passes, no hits.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and miss. Now 0-2. And sometimes once you get in a rhythm as a pitcher, you can tell Jordan wants the ball back, gets on the rubber, fires. 0-2, and again, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Bentner, and there's 2 down here in the top of the second.
Yeah, and just going back to that first inning, another thing, that I saw was the coaches going out there, before things really got out of hand for Jordan, going out there, talking to him, settling him down. I like to see that with the coaches.
Everson comes up to the plate now for the Squirrels. Oh, that's an announcer's jinx it, but there's been 7 pitches and 7 strikes so far for Bentner here in the top of the second inning. He's found the zone here in the second. The 0-2 fouled back and will make it another 0-2 count. Not nibbling around the zone at all, Brent. He is coming right at the batters here in the second.
He is.
The 0-2 here for Bentner. Strike 3 looking, and it's an immaculate inning on the way there for Jordan Bentner. 0-3, strike 3 looking to retire this side. Jordan Bentner, after 4 free passes, 3 straight strikeouts in the second. We head to the bottom of the second. It is a 1-0 score with the Broncos coming to the plate.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
Chase Miller and Brent Dick with you here today as we get to the bottom of the second inning as the Broncos coming up for the second time here against Keegan Peterson. Take a look at the weather. 55 degrees, not too much wind to talk about, if any, as Old Glory and left center field about as still as it can be. Mostly sunny today, a perfect day, as we mentioned earlier, for some baseball here in Lisbon. 6, 7, and 8 batters for the Broncos going up against Peterson. And Peterson misses for a ball at the letters. It's 1-0. Jackson Hoffer, Colton Johnson, and Rylan Moss do up here for the Broncos as Peterson works with a 1-0 lead. This one goes out of the zone. It's 2-0. After an immaculate inning by Jordan Bittner, how does Peterson have to offer on the mound here for Central Cass? 2-0. This one is going to be popped up foul. That'll get out of play at 2-1. First inning for Keegan. Couple of walks, 2 strikeouts, and a line drive out by Bittner through 5 batters for the Broncos. Senior right fielder Jackson on the 2-1 count. This one swung on and missed. It's now 2-2. And Johnson due up after that here for the Broncos. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way. Strike 3, and Peterson able to get his 3rd strikeout. Strike 3 swinging, and back-to-back strikeouts for Peterson on the mound as Colton Johnson, the senior first baseman, batting 7th here for the Broncos. We'll see Peterson for the first time this afternoon. And he has to duck and cover as it's now 1-0. Well, sometimes as a pitcher, if you can be effectively wild, that will help you a lot, kind of like Francisco Liriano a few years back, with the Minnesota Twins against Chicago. I think he had about 7-8 walks and a no-hitter, Brent, but, sometimes you can use that to your advantage at particular times.
Yeah, I think, wasn't there just a no-hitter this weekend where that team ended up losing, I think 1-0.
This one's going to be hit into play. The first time we'll see Central Cass in the field have a chance to make a play. The second baseman, and Lewis does that nicely. A little pop out, and there's 2 down. Rylan Moss is coming up. Reminds you of Galarraga for the Detroit Tigers, who was a Jim Joyce call from being a perfect game, 27 up, 27 down. And there was an E60 about this where there was this law class in the East Coast that went to try to see if they could overturn the call. Is this one is missed by Rylan Moss, and then they went through the years, and I forget who the pitcher was, but it was a Pirates pitcher long ago that threw a perfect game but lost in 13 innings. So they had to figure out, was it a perfect game or not, because you lost, and they said by the definition of the rule, a perfect game is 27 up, 27 down, which he did, but their team never scored a run, and he kept pitching Brent into extras, and he lost the game.
Man.
This one in there for a strike. I don't think we'll see that at the high school ranks because obviously a pitch count and everything, and I don't know if we'll ever see it in Major League Baseball ever again with how pitchers are used today once you get to 100 pitchers or not. But it was an interesting, if you're a fan of sports, and particularly baseball, it was a really interesting E60. 2-2 misses, and it'll be a full count now, 3-2. A strikeout, a pop-out. Rylan Moss looking to get on board here for the Broncos and try to get something going with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Well, Peterson's looking for a quick frame. Instead, we'll see his 3rd free pass of the early evening, and Jacob Lyons will be coming up, and then it flips back over to Jordan Bittner. Runner on here for the Broncos, seeing if they can get some 2-out magic going here in the second. As Peterson, first pitch swinging is Lyons. This one will be in foul territory. The 3rd baseman, Osmondstead, calls everybody out, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. We play 2 on the Bank North scoreboard at Central Cass, up by 1, coming to the plate when we return.
At Castleton Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471. Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has brought in to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
High school baseball here today in Lisbon. Game got underway about just over a half hour ago. Check out our website again for more high school baseball coming up throughout the coming weeks. We are less than a month away from the Region 1 baseball tournament, which just doesn't sound right, but again, that's how quick the spring sports season is for these teams, Brent, once you do everything. And it was funny a couple weeks ago talking with a track and field coach. They were like, yeah, we're already 6 weeks into our track and field season. I'm like, 6 weeks? Well, you have indoor and you do your practices, so it goes by quick in the spring.
Yeah, especially for practices or baseball. A lot of their practices for Lisbon has been indoors.
First pitch swinging is Grayson Lewis. This one fouled back. It's 0-1. Lewis, Pearson, and Noah Muckow due up here for the Squirrels. 2, 3, and 4 batters for Central Cass in the top half of the third. Bittner looks into Eli Lines behind the plate. It's a nice spot in the zone. It's 0-2. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Bittner. I'd like to add to it here. 0-2 is fisted, foul. Struck out 2 in the first. Retired the side via the strikeout in the second. 5 strikeouts in the game for Bittner, 4 walks, and a hit batter. Off speed, doing a good job laying off that curveball was Grayson there, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 offering. That'll miss. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bittner threw between the second and the third. 12 consecutive strikes. And he gets another strikeout. Batter number 6, he's retired via the punch-out, and there's 1 down here in the third inning. Well, Brent, what have you seen from Jordan on the mound there from the first to what we've seen here in the second and the third?
Yeah, he's really settled down. He's still having a little bit of trouble, like, you'd call getting that curveball across, but once he starts hitting that, he's really in the zone. Hard to stop him out there.
Pearson drew a walk his last time up. This one missing for a ball. It's 1-0. Lewis grounded out, and now he adds a strikeout to his performance so far here today. Pearson ahead with the batter's count. Now it's 1-1 with the foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike on the way to the number 3 batter here in the Central Cass lineup, top of the third, and there's 1 down with nobody on. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he's eating them up right now with that high fastball.
As Bittner, we'll see if he goes back to that fastball or the off speed. And the count. Fastball again, right on cue, Brent, and another strikeout. Make it now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters retired in a row via the strikeout.
Now coming to the plate, number 23, Noah Muckow.
As the senior first baseman, Noah Muckow due up here. Worked the count full, struck out back in the first. Muckow, the righty-righty matchup, sees this one up around the hands. That'll miss for a ball. It's 1-0. Similar spot in the batting order due up here for the Broncos. Bottom half of the third as Noah lays this one off. Now 2-0. Top of the lineup, 1, 2, 3 batters with Bittner leading off in the top half or in the bottom half of the third inning here for Lisbon. 2 balls, no strikes to Muckow. This one misses for a ball. It's now 3-0. Osmondstead due up next. He was hit by a pitch back in the first as the on-deck batter. Bittner behind the count, 3 balls, no strikes, and it's a 4-pitch walk.
Now coming to the plate, Ryan Osmestead.
No hits, 1 run that was earned, 5 free batters that have reached base via the free pass, and then 7 strikeouts here for Bittner. Runner at first. Good backhand there by Eli Lyons. Now it's 5 consecutive balls thrown here by Bittner on the mound. Bittner looks back the runner. Johnson holding them on at first. 1-0, good spot, now 1-1. We will see the Lisbon Broncos again next week at the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree, where you can hit a home run and it goes on the Canadian Pacific Railway for a while. This one is foul back at 1-2. That's one of the more unique ballparks in terms of down the left field line in center. If you can hit one to straightaway center in that ballpark, you can get a nice little home run in a lot of ballparks, Brent, that'd be just allowed out.
You can, yeah, and it is interesting going back there and shaking those home run balls off the railroad tracks.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the way. Bittner looking to get out of the third. This one will miss. Now 2-2. No, Kindred put some turf in both at the mound and up the first and third baseline and behind home plate. As we talked about, Central Cass is all turf, and Starry on field, and Fargo, home of Fargo Post 400, has an all-turf infield. But Bittner right now gets another strikeout, back-to-back innings where he strikes out the side, his 8th of the afternoon, and there's no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left here in the top half of the third inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Lisbon down by 1 when we return on YourLiveEvent.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
As we head to the bottom of the third inning for the Central Cass Squirrels, 1 run back in the first. It was a bases-loaded walk as coming in to score Keegan Peterson. Drew the walk. Coming in to score was Jack Everson. And that has been the lone run so far on the Bank North scoreboard for Central Cass. 1 run, no hits, no errors with 4 runners left on base. For the Lisbon Broncos through 2 innings so far, no runs, no hits, no errors with 3 batters left on base so far here today. Jordan Bittner, 3 innings of work, 1 run that was earned. He's got 5 walks with a hit batter and then 8 strikeouts here for Jordan. Well, for Keegan Peterson, 2 innings of work, 4, make that 3 walks and 3 strikeouts as well here for Keegan Peterson through 2 innings of work. Second time through the lineup for the Broncos, Bittner, Cordero, and Welter here, top of the lineup for head coach Brad Bittner's Lisbon Broncos. Winner of this game gets to 3-1 in Region 1 play. Off speed out of the hand. I missed out of the zone to Bittner, who had allowed out to Christensen. Been the best hit ball from either club so far today. We really haven't seen a lot of balls in play because of the walks and the strikeouts. This one misses, now 2-0. Jordan would like the same exact swing just into the gap or down the line, Brent. Here's the 2-0 offering. Big swing at this one, but it's going to be a pop-up to the second baseman, Lewis. Lewis, for the second time, will camp underneath it at second, and there's 1 down here in the third.
Yeah, it looked like Jordan just got jammed inside there off the handle.
Cordero with a walk and a stolen base back in the first, was left stranded at third base.
Now coming to the plate for the Broncos, number 2, Cameron Cordero.
Pat Adair, our umpire in the field, calling balls and strikes. Chris Larson here this Tuesday. The pitch. That'll miss for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 offering from Peterson. Cordero sees this, miss for a ball. Now 2-0. Worked the count full his first time up. 2-0 offering. That'll miss. And Peterson's on the verge of giving up his fourth free pass here today. 3 balls, no strikes. The number 2 batter here in the Lisbon Bronco lineup. 3-0 pitch. Cordero taking all the way. Now it's 3-1. More so in high school baseball than what you see in the pros or college. Sometimes you take a pitch just to force the count to go up a little bit more with a pitch count. But Cordero, regardless, draws a 5-pitch walk. Fourth free pass of the game here for Lisbon. And they got a runner on first, and we'll see if Cordero tries to. And what has been a pitcher's duel a little bit here, Brent, even though there's been a myriad of walks, we've seen a lot of strikeouts on the opposite hand as well. Not a lot of balls been put in play. Cordero stays put. Welter takes a strike. It's 0-1. Play 7. Quick whip throw. Diving back is Cordero. Welter struck out his last time up in the first. As we have a time called behind the plate. Chris Larson resumes action here. This one swung on a miss. It's 0-2. Outside of the Jordan Bittner line drive shot, I haven't really seen anything outside of a pop-out either today.
Yeah, it's just been a bunch of pop-outs, walks, and strikeouts.
Here's the 0-2 offering. This one's going to be hit up the third base line, but that'll go foul. And not like the Oakland Coliseum, but you do have enough of foul territory up the left field and right field line where if you do get a lazy pop-out and you got some speed at the corners, you can maybe go stealing out in an inning. 0-2 check swing. This one will make it now 1-2 as whoever honked almost did that at the perfect time. Couldn't have hit it any better as Peterson was going for the throw and Welter was looking for the swing. 1-2 strikeout, the throw down, not in time as Cordero gets in safely, but Welter is the fourth strikeout here for Peterson. And there's 2 down now in the bottom of the third, and Cordero gets into scoring position.
Yeah, it looked like they had the hit and run on, just not able to make contact, but did move the runner up.
You know, Chris Larson, and if you're the Central Cast Squirrels from Coach Maggio, you might have said, hey, Welter, as he swung through, was there interference? And they're going to say there was enough interference there as the Chris Larson and Pat Adair will come out. Now they'll have to give the explanation to Brad Bittner on the fall through there by Welter. Did he come out of the plate enough? And then as you get the catcher Pearson throwing down to second, they're going to call interference, and there's going to retire the side. So for the Lisbon Broncos, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we played 3 today on the Bank North scoreboard. It's Central Cass up by 1, coming to the plate when we return.
683-2700, Olson County of Lisbon.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon, North Dakota is Southeastern North Dakota's premier building supply headquarters. They have it all from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell and have over 110 combined years of experience. With their large inventory to sell from and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop, and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial, and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
Where runs have been hard to come by on the Bank North scoreboard. A tough situation there for the Lisbon Bronco fans. You get Cordero to get into scoring position with 2 outs, but on the follow-through of the swing again, there was a interference, and that'll retire the side here. So now you'll get Peterson, Holland, and Nudell, the 6, 7, and 8 batters here for the Squirrels, top half of the 4th. And question is, can someone get a hit today? So far we got runners on with hit batters and walks, but both pitchers being effective enough with strikeouts and doing what we just saw there with Bittner, throwing a 1 in inside for a strike. It's 1-1. Peterson walked. That one in there for a strike. It's now 1-2. Peterson with the bases loaded walk. Back in the first is the only run driven in of this game. And this one goes up the middle, and there's the first base knock for either team. So Keegan hits one up the middle here, and the Squirrels got a runner on to lead things off in the 4th.
Now coming to the plate, number 10, Easton Holland.
Always an interesting port midway through the game here, Brent, where runs have been hard to come by. Does the small ball variety with bunting, trying to get runners going, a hit and run. We'll see what kind of play Coach Maggio puts on here. Bittner throws a strike, as taking the bat back is Holland, looking to bunt. Now it's 0-1. Peterson again stands at first. Quick whip throw, nearly got him, but doing a good job diving back was Peterson after that tag applied by Johnson. Offers in right, Welter in center, Howard in left here around the outfield for the Broncos. Bittner from the stretch. Holland looking to bunt. They'll say he went through the zone. It's now 0-2. Moss at third, Cordero at short, Jacob Lyons at second with Johnson at first, and Eli Lyons behind the plate here for Lisbon. No balls, 2 strikes on the way to Holland. Swung on and missed, and there's the strikeout. Batter number 9 retired via the strikeout for Bittner, and there's 1 down. Owen Nudell 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking back in the second. What was an immaculate inning for Bittner. 3 up, 3 down, all via the punch-out on 9 pitches. Runner's going to go, swung on and miss. Here's the throw by Lyons. Is it in time with the tag? Yes! Cordero had to jump, came down, applied the tag, and Peterson's retired at second. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. A throw by Lyons to Cordero, but Cordero, acrobatic play right there, Brent, to come down with that one and apply the tag.
Yeah, Cam, very athletic player out there.
This will be in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Almost looked like a spider monkey out there a little bit, how he had to spread and.
He's been working on that vertical in basketball, so he can definitely he has the ups.
The 0-2. Breaking ball will be out of the zone. It's 1-2. That could very well potentially be a play of the game category right there with that caught stealing. 1-2. This one will be a strikeout, and that'll retire the side. No runs hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Strikeout number 10 for Bittner in the circle as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Central Cast Squirrels up by 1 with Lisbon coming to the plate.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
While Alec Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals proudly serving the community for over 40 years. As an experienced independent agency, they partner with top-rated insurance companies to provide affordable and tailored solutions for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. When it comes to crop insurance, Walt and Grant deliver unmatched expertise and personalized service. With the March 15th sales closing deadline approaching, now is the perfect time to trust your crop protection needs to the team who puts you first. To get started with a free quote, head to nd-insure.com for more info.
Bottom of the fourth inning here in Lisbon from Sandager Park on the Lisbon Fire Department field here today. Howard Lyons and Hoffer due up here. That's the 4, 5, and 6 batters. And just as Central Cass was able to do in the top of the fourth inning, Lisbon looking for their first hit today. They have had a runner all the way to third with Cordero via the walk, but Keegan Peterson, 3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts and 4 walks here on this Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, Lisbon's going to have to go out there and find some runs, manufacture some runs out there.
Still anyone's game. 1-0 is your score on the Bank North scoreboard as Howard takes a ball. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, serving both the Central Cass and Lisbon school districts. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. One in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Strike as well, now 1-2. The Broncos had 5 batters to the plate in the first, 4 in the second, and 3 in the third. This will be out of the zone now, 2-2. As Peterson with the 2-2 offering. That'll be low. Nicely done by Howard and not Chase, and works the count full. Fourth batter of the game that's seen a full count by Keegan Peterson here. 3-2 swung on a miss, and a strikeout number 5 for Peterson. Back-to-back strikeouts for Keegan, and there's one down here in the fourth.
Now coming to the plate, our catcher, number 14, Eli Lyons.
As Lyons comes on now for the Broncos. This one is foul back, out of play, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on the way here to Eli. Check swing went through the zone regardless on the off speed. Now it's 0-2. Well, both of these pitchers, Brent, when they have located that curveball today, it has been where they've wanted it. They haven't left a lot up in the zone. 0-2 misses, now 1-2. It's Peterson with Pearson behind the plate. This one will miss out of the zone. Osman instead stands at third base. Everson at short with Lewis at second and Macau at first base here for the Central Cass Squirrels. 2-2 and right on cue. Strike 3 looking with that big breaking ball. And there's 2 down here in the fourth. Holland and right, Christensen in center, and Nudell in left. But that big breaker, almost like a 12-6 curveball, Brent.
Yeah, just dropped right behind the plate.
Jackson Hoffer sees this one under the zone. It's now 1-0. Broncos have gotten a runner on base in every inning. Would like to continue that here. And Jackson can get on board, but now takes a strike at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1, that'll be out of the zone missing. Now 2-1. And what kind of has the feeling of a mid-May Region 1 style of postseason game, or sometimes you see 2 teams that just have a couple of quality effective pitchers on the mound. Or if you know you got a runner on, you better move them or do something with them because you might not get too many more chances. 3-1 by Keegan. That'll miss. It's a walk. 5th free pass here for Peterson, and the Broncos get another runner on. As you'll see, Colton Johnson, the senior first baseman, batting 7th, popped out to Lewis at second base his first time up.
Yeah, Colton's a good contact hitter, so I wouldn't, see him striking out here, but he will make contact.
Quick pick, and they got him. Well, the bases for the Lisbon Broncos by Jackson Hoffer. Peterson with a quick pick to Muckow at first to apply the tag, and that'll retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors with nobody left on base. We played 4 on the Bank North scoreboard. Central Cass up by 1, coming to the plate when we return.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
Top of the 5th inning we go for the Central Cass Squirrels. It'll be 9-1 and 2 batters. Christensen, Everson, and Lewis are due up here for head coach Dustin Maggio and the Central Cass Squirrels. Central Cass 3 wins, 1 loss on the season overall. The Broncos at 4-2 in a game that got underway just about an hour ago today here in Lisbon. Bittner will continue his work in the circle here for Lisbon. Christensen struck out looking and hits one. A one-hopper that gets under the glove of Moss, and the Squirrels have their second hit of the evening. So 2 singles for Central Cass here today in terms of the hit category, and a runner on here for Central Cass. Third inning that Central Cass has got their leadoff runner on. They capitalize in the first again with the bases loaded walk, as then getting caught stealing at second base was Keegan Peterson last half inning in the 4th, and we've already seen 1 pick off and nearly got another one as Christensen dives back in safely. So Everson due up 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout here today for the junior shortstop. As Bittner, we'll see this one. It's in the air. A chance for a double play, and they got it. Jordan Bittner comes off the mound like a cat, fires it over to Johnson, and him going up the first base line allowed that momentum play there, Brent, for the twin killing.
Yeah, that's why you do that pitcher fielding practice. You know, you just hammer that every day at practice. That, you know, we do it at the end of practice. Just good routine play by Jordan.
That's a tough one if you're a Central Cass fan, trying to do the small ball, and it's 0-1 as Christensen. You're trying to take that secondary lead so you don't get on maybe a bad bunking and thrown out at second. But Bittner did a good job coming off the mound and now fires 2 strikes, works ahead on Lewis, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes here to the number 2 batter. 0-2 is foul, then we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. On the Lisbon Broncos, bottom half of the lineup, Johnson, Moss, and Jacob line. 7, 8, and 9 batters due up in the bottom of the 5th. Bittner with the off speed, now 1-2. We've seen some nice glove work today by Cordero at shortstop, applying the tag in the 4th, and now you get a double play here in the 5th for the Broncos. 1-2 pitch. This one is going to be hit. A one hopper to Cordero deep in the hole at short. In time for the out. Cordero with the backhand. 6-3, and Grayson Lewis is retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base as Jordan Bittner has pitched 5 innings today of 1-run baseball as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Lisbon coming to the plate.
North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Leslie, or Carol to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
For the Lisbon Broncos, outs are starting to wind down here as they're down by 1. But as we said earlier, between Peterson and Bittner, both pitchers have allowed their teams, if you can put a little inning together, a little crooked number, you can be up by more if you're Central Cass, or take the first lead of the day if you're the Lisbon Broncos. Johnson, Moss, and Lyons. Colton Johnson popped out his last time up, as we alluded to, as the Lisbon Broncos were picked off at first base by Jackson Hoffer, so we'll see Johnson come up to the plate as Keegan Peterson didn't even throw a pitch to Johnson his last time up. First pitch before that, he went on to try to see if he can get Hoffer out at first, and he did. Seen both teams make some nice plays in the infield here defensively for Central Cass and Lisbon. Shadows starting to come into play a little bit more here. First pitch swinging, this one's hit on a rope to the left fielder, and camping underneath it is Nudell. One pitch, one out on the loudest out of the game.
Yeah, that was a well-hit ball there by Colton Johnson. Good job by that left fielder tracking it down.
And barreled it up there for Colton. Nudell did a good job seeing where the baseball was going to go. Didn't have enough hook to it. If that had a hook, that was a screaming extra bases. Instead, one pitch, one down, and one pitch and a strike now to Rylan Moss. Moss with a walk his last time up in the second. Falls behind the count now, 0-2 here in the fifth. Keegan Peterson. Strike three looking, and Peterson gets his 7th strikeout. Nice curveball there, 2 down. As we go to batter number 9 with Jacob Lyons. Peterson sees this one miss. And it's now 1-0. Back to the top of the lineup then with Jordan Bittner. If the Broncos can see Jacob Lyons get on base, Peterson delivers a strike. It's 1-1. 7 strikeouts, 5 walks for Peterson so far today. 1-1 pitch, fastball on the inner half, now 1-2. Keegan with the 1-2 offering. This one's going to be popped up, out of play, foul. And we'll keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the Lisbon Broncos come in for a high school program, we'll see Central Cass in a few years make their way up to Class A for baseball and softball. Breaking ball in the dirt. They have to go the long way. Pearson to muck out to retire the side, and that's the 8th strikeout here for Peterson. A 3-up, 3-down inning. We head to the top of the 6th. It's a 1-0 Squirrel lead here on your liveevent.com.
What's going on today?
I've got a planter in the shop, and I had the guys from Agassi Precision Ag come over and do an inspection.
You upgrading systems or working on maintenance?
Both, actually. We walked some fields last summer and found areas where we can improve. So we are installing Delta Force and some new opening discs.
I bet we're in the same boat. I should give them a call.
Yep, they'll come out and look over the planter with you and put a plan together. They are the guys I go to for answers.
Agassi Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Call 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Hey Lisbon, it's time to rally behind our favorite team. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are sending all our best wishes to the Broncos as they hit the court and field this season. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are proud to support our teams and community. Let's show our Broncos that we're with them every step of the way. Go Broncos! Your dedication and spirit makes us all proud. From all of us at the Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters, we're cheering for you.
Region 1 baseball here in Lisbon, top of the 6th inning. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you for what has been a quality pitcher's duel. Jordan Bittner, 5 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run that was earned, 5 free passes with 10 strikeouts. You look at Keegan Peterson, 5 innings of work, no hits, no runs, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts in comparison. Is 1 run going to be enough today, Brent, is the question right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought at the beginning of this game it was going to be, but turned into a pitcher's duel, also backed up by some good defensive plays by both teams.
Hard little lineup, 3, 4, 5 batters here for Central Cass. Pearson, Muckow, and Osmanstead. First pitch swinging is Pearson, and it's 0-1. Pearson with a walk in the first, struck out in the third. This one in there for a strike. It's 0-2. The only batter for Central Cass that has not struck out today is Peterson, the opposing pitcher, against Bittner. 0-2 foul tipped off the glove, and we'll keep it at 0-2. Both teams back in action on Thursday. And then we'll have a wholesale of games the next couple of weeks before the region tournament. Off-speed pitch. This is up. It's 1-2. As we alluded to, kind of a sneaky game in the standings early on the season here, just albeit you play everybody twice, double round robin. That's one a 1-2 strikeout as Bittner gets his 11th punch out of the afternoon, and there's one down here in the 6th. If you pick up the win, able to see a team like Kindred, a team like Northern Cass kind of keep with them a little bit. One down here in the 6th inning. This one in there for a strike. It's 0-1, but someone's got to beat the champs in May, and the champs the last 4 seasons in Region 1 again been Central Cass. 0-1 pitch. Now it's 0-2, or will the Squirrels continue their dominance? We'll have the Region 1 baseball tournament for you from Starry on Field in Fargo for the first couple rounds on yourliveevent.com. 0-2 off-speed pitch foul. Then Noah continues to work here. Struck out in the first, walked in the third. Jordan Bittner with the 0-2 offering. I'll miss, and it's now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 down here. I'll miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That'll be out of the zone, and Noah works the count full. First full count since the first inning here for Bittner. 3-2, that'll miss, and it's a walk.
Yeah, Jordan's still struggling trying to locate that off-speed pitch.
Now coming up to bat, number 25, Ryan Osmanstead.
So you get a runner at first base here with Muckow as Osmanstead will step up to the plate. Hit by a pitch back in the first, struck out in the third. And chance to build that lead a little bit now for Central Cass, but Bittner fires a strike. It's 0-1. Central Cass in their red tops, the Lisbon Broncos in their black tops today. 0-1 pitch, jammed him enough. The left fielder, though, Howard has to get on his horse a little bit, does a good job playing the sun and also getting down the line. Jammed him enough right there that it's going to be allowed out number 2 when there's 2 down.
Now coming to the plate, number 6, Keegan Peterson, the pitcher.
Going down the line there, if you get a little bit more of the barrel of the bat, that maybe would have been a little bit more interesting, but Bittner did a good job.
Yeah, a little bit of that and maybe a little wind to help it out.
This one will miss for a ball to Keegan Peterson here. Walked in the first, got a single in the fourth. One of 2 hits today against Bittner, the other by Christensen in the 5th. 1 ball, no strikes. Bittner Sees this one miss. It's now 2-0. The only batter again for Central Cass that hasn't at least struck out once against Bittner today. And in a hitter's count right now with the runner at first with Muckow. That'll miss low. Second 3-ball count in the inning. As Noah takes his lead off first, being held by Johnson. 3-0 in there for a strike by Bittner. It's now 3-1. As the Broncos will be setting up the top of the lineup in Bittner, Cordero, and Welter in the bottom half of the sixth. 3-1. This one is scolded to left. Howard turns back, and this is going to go over the left fielder. Noah Muckow will make his way rounding third as Howard relays the ball, and this is going to get by Cordero. Making his way to third base is going to be Peterson, who delivers an RBI double, takes third base on the throw, and the Central Cass Squirrels have a 2-0 lead. Big two-on base knock there by Keegan Peterson as he gets his second run driven in. The run coming in to score again is Noah. That'll be the second base hit of the game as well for Peterson, who stands at third. Taking a strike is Easton Hall, and it's now 0-1. That one got off the bat nicely by Keegan, who stands at third. This one swung and a miss by Holland. It's 0-2. And the Central Cass Squirrels get a little insurance here in the top of the sixth. 1 balls, 2 strikes. Holland lays off this one. It's now 1-2. The Squirrels sent 7 batters to the plate in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. So far, batter number 5 here in the sixth. Swung on a miss, and Bittner gets his 12th strikeout of the evening. There was a run on 1 hit, 1 throwing error with a runner left on base as we have played 5.5 today on the Bank North scoreboard. We head to the bottom of the 6th with a new score. Central Cass leads it by 2.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
High school baseball today on YourLiveEvent.com on the Bank North scoreboard. They've been a trusted financial partner for generations, helping customers, communities build, grow, and prosper. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Quick recap here. The Squirrels with 1 run in the first, 1 run in the sixth. A bases-loaded walk by Peterson, which scored Everson in the first, and Peterson with an RBI double, which Brent ticks it off there. That was tattooed, and it was tattooed to left. Makes it a 2-0 game, as you'll have the top of the lineup again here for the Lisbon Broncos coming to the plates.
Now batting for the Broncos, number 1, Jordan Bittner.
Bittner, Cordero, and Welter here for Lisbon. Lisbon still has time, 6 outs to work with currently, as Keegan Peterson, 5 innings of work so far on the mound for the Squirrels. And this one's going to hit him right on the noggin. So Bittner was looking to get out of the way, but that curveball just got out of the hand, and Bittner went to duck and hit him right on the head. He looks to be all right, but for the Broncos, the tying run comes to the plate in the good part of the lineup to do so here, Brent.
Yeah, it looked like it maybe just lost grip on that ball as it was coming over the top. Got away from him.
As Cordero with a pair of walks so far and a stolen base here today. This one will miss. It's now 1-0. For the Broncos, that's the first time they've had their leadoff batter aboard here today against Peterson. As Bittner takes his lead from first. The 1-0 is foul. It's now 1-1. Still very much anybody's game here at 2-0. Just got to find a way, if you're a Bronco fan, to put the ball in play and not at either Christensen or Nudell, where their two hardest hits were right at someone today, Brent. There's the pick throw as Bittner gets back nicely. We'll keep it at 1-1 strike. One and getting out of the way is Cordero. It's now 2-1. Peterson looks into the righty-righty matchup here with Cordero. That'll be out of the zone again now, 3-1. If you're Cordero, like to draw a free pass minimum here, get on base, and bring the go-ahead run to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Stepping off is Peterson to recollect himself. The pitch in there for a strike. Works the count full. We'll see what Bittner does at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the number 2 batter, Cordero, as Bittner takes his lead off of first. Peterson with a 3-2 strike, 3 looking, and there's 1 down. Big punch out for Peterson, his 9th, as Elliot Welter steps up here with 1 down now in the bottom half of the frame.
Yeah, he just painted the outside corner on that one. Not much Cordero could do with that.
Welter 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. This one in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Pickoff throw, and getting back is Bittner. No balls, 1 strike to the senior center fielder. Peterson doing it again, paying a little closer attention here to Bittner. As Lisbon definitely would like to get Bittner in a scoring position, but you can tell Peterson's already picked off 3 times, has looked that way. This one's going to be hit on the ground, a chance for 2. There's 1 at second. The relay by the second baseman not going to be in time. Everson to Lewis to punch out Bittner. Reaching on a fielder's choice is Welter, and there's 2 down. As you will bring up Jaden Howard here for the Broncos. Howard with the walk in the first, struck out swinging back in the 4th. Tying run at the plate here for Lisbon in the 6th. This one in there for a strike by Peterson, and it's 0-1. Just the 3rd time today against Peterson that the Broncos have put 4 or more batters to the plate. As this one is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Sliding in is Bittner, and we'll keep it at 1-1. The 1-1 went through the zone on the check swing. It's now 1-2. One-two pitch, strike 3 looking, and Peterson gets out of any potential harm here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 6 on the Bank North scoreboard at Central Cast 2. The Lisbon Broncos scoreless with the Squirrels coming to the plate in the top of the 7th.
Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471. Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
As we come back, here's some new defensive changes. Howard still's in left, Welter's in center. The new right fielder is going to be Ranke. Cruz Ranke comes into play right. Johnson at first. Cordero goes from shortstop to second. The pitcher, Bittner, now stands at the shortstop. Jacob Lyons goes from second to third. And then you got Eli Lyons still behind the plate as Jackson Hoffer will come up, the lefty here on the mound. Jordan Bittner, 6 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 6 walks and 12 strikeouts today here for Jordan Bittner. So Nudell, Christensen, and Jack Everson, the 8, 9, and 1 batters, due up here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So Jordan Bittner on the hook right now for the loss, unless unless Lisbon can get a couple runs in the 7th inning, bare minimum at this point. But still 6 quality innings of work, no doubt about it, for Bittner. This one will be in there for a strike to Nudell. It's 0-1. Nudell 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. And the number 8 batter in the lineup. 0-1 pitch, hit on the ground. Well, you make defensive changes. Going to go to someone new. Bittner goes off the mound to short, does a nice job across the diamond. 6-3 on the putout, and there's one down. It just seems to work like that in baseball and softball. You make a defensive change, and you know where the ball's going.
Yeah, the ball will find you.
Lucas Christensen, 1 of 2 today. A single back in the 5th inning. Part of 3 hits against Jordan Bittner. The Squirrels got a hit in the 4th, 5th, and then the 6th inning, 1 extra base hit today by Peterson for that double to left. Swung on and miss. It's now 0-1. Here's the 0-1 offering. This one's fouled. It's now 0-2. So Jackson Hoffer doing a nice job coming right at these Central Cass hitters here in the top of the 7th. Breaking ball, got him looking, and there's 2 down. Well, combined between now Bittner and Hoffer, that's 13 strikeouts here for the Broncos. As Everson will be due up for the 3rd time here today. Everson 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored back in the 1st. This one's going to be hit in the air to center, straightaway center. Welter barely has to move, and that'll retire the side. A nice, efficient inning for Jackson. 3 up, 3 down as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Lisbon down by 2 with 3 outs remaining here in high school baseball on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
I will be your guiding light, 'cause you don't have to go alone. I will bring you
Lisbon Broncos down to their final 3 outs here today in Lisbon for Region 1 baseball contest between the Squirrels and the Broncos here from Sandager Park and the Lisbon Fire Department field. Middle of the lineup, 5, 6, and 7 batters here for the Lisbon Broncos. Due up Eli Lyons with Jackson Hoffer, then Colton Johnson, as they're down to their final 3 outs here against Keegan Peterson, who's worked 6 innings today, giving up some base runners via the walk. And that's been about it. Lions 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. This one swung on and missed, and that's how we begin the bottom of the 7th. Peterson with the 0-1 fires a strike, now 0-2. Peterson with double-digit strikeouts in his own right. He's got 10 today. Now making 11 as Pearson applies a tag, and there's one down. Pearson almost looked like Fred Flintstone coming out of behind home plate there with the almost tripped up a little bit. You know, you start as the catchers, Brent, especially with the dirt, right? You start getting yourself a little bit of a hole. So he was trying to find his balance with his toes and did a good job keeping his balance after applying the tag. This one misses for a ball. It's now 1-0. Here's the 1-0 offering. That'll miss. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Hoffer. Walked his last at bat in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd. Here's the 2-0. That'll miss. Now 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Gotta think this is a clean take the entire way, looking for a base runner. It will be. Peterson says, you want to take one? Here's a curveball. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1, that'll miss. 5-pitch walk, and the tying base runner here for Lisbon comes up to the plate with 1 down. So 7 free passes today for Keegan Peterson, whether it's been a walk or a hit by batter. 6 of them via the walk. Colton Johnson due up now, 0 for 2 today with a pop out and a line drive his last time up, and he ducks and covers. It's now 1-0. Hit one to Nudell and left his last time up, again back in the 5th. Here's the pick play. This one by Muckow. We'll see this stay close enough to him at first. We'll keep it at 1 ball and 1 strike, as Peterson has paid attention to any base runner at first base throughout the day-to-day. Here's the 1-0 offering. That'll miss for a ball. It's now 2-0. Rylan Moss on the on-deck circle. And we'll have a new runner, a new batter in the game for the Broncos with Cruz Ranke. He'll be due up next. So now 3 balls and no strikes here to Johnson. 3-0 misses for a 4-pitch walk, and back-to-back free bases here for the Broncos in the 7th. As again, Cruz Ranke comes up. As Dustin Maggio wants a little bit of a timeout here to talk it over with the infield.
Next up for the Broncos.
And for Peterson as 6 1/3 right now. Runners at 1st and 2nd with Hoffer and Colton Johnson. Got Cruz Ranke coming up. Then after that, Jacob Lyons. Bottom half of the lineup. As we'll have a pinch runner here with Colby Mouse. So Mouse now will be standing at first base, and the Lisbon Broncos have the game-winning run at the plate. Cruz Ranke here for the Lisbon Broncos, his first time up, coming in and playing right field. As Dustin Maggio heads back to the dugout, and we'll see what happens here with 2 runners on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Broncos down to their final 2 outs. Peterson fires a strike. It's 0-1. No balls, one strike here is Peterson. 0-1 in there for strike two. It's now 0-2. Peterson with the 0-2. This one's going to be hit. That's to right. The right fielder comes on with the diving attempt. This one is going to be caught, and it throws back in. Nice play by Easton Holland and right, backhanding that particular play. If it gets by him, it's a tie ball game instead. That's a loud second out.
Now stepping to the plate, number 5.
Cruz Ranke did a good job being down 0-2, letting that ball come through the zone and hitting it out to right, but Holland came in and made a nice play out in right field. Broncos down their final out. This one's going to be hit in the air. That's going to be hit by Lyons. It'll drop in front of the center fielder, Christensen, and the bases are going to be full. The Lisbon Broncos have their first hit of the game, and it came with their final out that they had to provide, and bases are full here in the 7th. Back to the top of the lineup with Jordan Bittner, who was hit by a pitch his last time up. 0 for 2 today. Go-ahead run stands at first. The game-winning run, the tying run, stands at second. Off-speed pitch by Peterson delivers the strike. Hoffer stands at third, Mouse at second, and Jacob Lyons stands at first. No balls, one strike to the leadoff batter. Bittner sees another off-speed, and it's now 0-2. Peterson with the 0-2 against Bittner. Strike three looking, and Keegan Peterson delivers a gem, a complete game one hitter, and he has 12 strikeouts in the win as well. And a contest that goes 1 hour and 35 minutes here today in Lisbon. No runs across on one hit, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. Keegan Peterson is your winning pitcher of record, while the losing pitcher will be Jordan Bittner. We'll take a break. When we come back after this, we'll take a look at the final numbers, get to our player of the game. That and more still to come here today from Lisbon.
When you choose Farmers Union Insurance, you're backed by an insurance policy provider that meets your specific requirements. At Farmers Union Insurance Gullis & Olson Agency, they offer reliable insurance policies from homeowners, farm and ranch, contractors, small businesses, and more. Let Lance, Shelby, and the staff at Gullis & Olson Agency take care of you today. For more information, stop into their office on Main Street in Lisbon for Farmers Union Insurance Gullis & Olson Agency.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
As we come back here on yourliveevent.com, the Central Cass Squirrels improved to 4-1 on the season, 3-1 in Region 1 play. The Lisbon Broncos fall to 4-3 on the season and now 2-2 in Region 1 play. The winning pitcher is Keegan Peterson. He went 6 2/3 without giving up a hit until Jacob Lyon had one into center field. It loaded the bases and then got the strikeout of Jordan Bittner on 3 pitches. Peterson, 7 innings of work, 1 hit, no runs, 7 walks, and 12 strikeouts here today. Well, for Jordan Bittner, he'll be the losing pitcher of record, but had himself a well of a performance on the mound as well. 6 innings of work, did not give up a hit until the 4th inning. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 6 walks with 12 strikeouts here, and then Jackson Hoffer, 1 inning of relief and 1 strikeout, no hits, and no walks. Take a look at the final one in this one in terms of scoring. It was a 1-0 game. In the first, Jack Everson drew a walk, Gale Pearson drew a walk, Ryan Osmonstead drew a hit by pitch, and then Keegan Peterson drew a bases loaded walk with 2 down. That made it a 1-0 game, which that stood as the only run until the 6th. We're in the top of the 6th after a Pearson strikeout. Noah Muckow walked. Osmonstead flew out to left, and then Keegan Peterson hit a rope over the left fielder Howard, which plated Muckow for a RBI double. Keegan Peterson made it a 2-0 game, and that would be enough for the Central Cass Squirrels to win this one. Jack Everson would finish today 0 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Grayson Lewis goes 0 for 3. Gale Pearson goes 0 for 2 with a walk. Noah Muckow goes 0 of 1 with 2 walks, a strikeout, and a run scored. Ryan Osmonstead goes 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Keegan Peterson, a walk, a single, and a double today with 2 runs driven in. He goes 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Easton Holland goes 0 for 3 today. Owen Udell goes 0 for 3, and Lucas Christensen goes 1 of 3 today. 2 runs scored again by Noah and alongside Jack Everson. For the Lisbon Broncos, Jordan Bittner goes 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Cameron Cordero goes 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a stolen base. Elliot Welter 0 for 3 today. Jaden Howard goes 0 for 2 with a walk. Eli Lyons goes 0 for 3. Jackson Hoffer goes 0 for 1 today with 2 walks. Colton Johnson able to go 0 for 2 today with a walk. Rylan Moss goes 0 for 1 with a walk. Jacob Lyons goes 1 of 3, and then Cruz Ranke goes 0 for 1 today. Brent, just your thoughts on this one, a well-pitched game and a game that took 1 hour and 35 minutes at the end of the day, but as much as there was a couple walks here and there, some really good pitching performances, I thought, by Peterson and Bittner to get out of some jams, and then able to see some good glove work at times when needed, particularly by Holland there in that 7th inning.
Yeah, both these pitchers, you know, one thing you want to see your pitcher do is just take charge on that mound, and you know, they didn't shy away. They each went after batters. They might have gave up a couple walks, but then they went right back to it and picking up some strikeouts. And then we did see some good glove work, just like you alluded to, you know, out there in right field in the 7th inning. And then we saw another good play over here by Colton Johnson for the Broncos, tracking one down, well hit ball also. So good glove work on both sides of the ball and good pitching.
Take a look at your player of the game. Life takes energy. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. I think it's safe to say when you drive in all the runs and you throw a complete game, that's 1A. And then I think 1B would be his counterpart in Jordan Bittner. But I think Keegan Peterson, without question, a complete game one hitter, and he drives in both run, is our Enbridge Energy player of the game. What did you see from Keegan's performance, particularly on the mound here today?
Yeah, you know, he was able to locate his pitches, what I saw. At times he'd come back to the inside with his breaking ball off speed, and then he was able to paint the outside corner. And Broncos really had trouble, you know, making good contact and barreling it up, so it kept the Broncos off balance and not able to get to their offense.
The play of the game, well, they used it to almost the final out, brought to you in part by Agassi Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer at Agassi Precision Ag. Visit planterdoc.com. That again is planterdoc.com. And if Easton Holland doesn't make that catch, maybe it's a one-hopper, you know, then all of a sudden it could be a little bit different. But if it gets by him, it's probably a tie ball game, if not even maybe a walk-off type of a game. But Easton Holland's catch in right field, Brent, was definitely one to circle in terms of the play of the game.
Yeah, the Broncos, you know, able to get back into it in the 7th inning. I just got to give a shout-out to Keegan Peterson, though, being able to dig himself out of that hole, coming back after that, you know, the Broncos loading up the bases and then striking out Jordan Bittner.
Again, the play of the game brought to you in part by the right fielder in Easton Holland. Out in right, brought to you in part by Agassi Precision Ag. We'll take one more break. We'll take a look at what's ahead for both teams, and we'll put a bow on this one next here from Lisbon.
The geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals proudly serving the community for over 40 years. As an experienced independent agency, they partner with top-rated insurance companies to provide affordable and tailored solutions for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. When it comes to crop insurance, Walt and Grant deliver unmatched expertise and personalized service. With the March 15th sales closing deadline approaching, now is the perfect time to trust your crop protection needs to the team who puts you first. To get started with a free quote, head to nd-insure.com for more info.
Final segment here is before we bid adieu the Central Cass Squirrels. Up next, we'll have a home game with Oak Grove on Thursday. They make their way to Northern Cass on April the 22nd. While for the Lisbon Broncos, they will play Thursday at Enderlin and then play at Kindred on April the 22nd for a doubleheader against the Vikings. We'll have both those games for you on yourliveevent.com. Game 2 of a makeup game that was supposed to be in Lisbon, but that was in early April when they had the weather and the issues for that one. A final thing, Brent, before we bid adieu, I think if you're the Lisbon Broncos, you're just saying, one play here, one play there, you could possibly still be playing some softball or at least bare minimum, put a run or two across on the board. And if you're Central Cass, you did enough with what you had today. You didn't score a lot, but when you have a pitcher the way Peterson was working, I think both teams can take some positives. As much as it is April baseball, there's stuff to work on, but I think both teams can take some positives moving forward, even though it was only 2 runs scored combined in 7 innings.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. I think the Broncos got to be happy. They're hanging with the defending region champs out here on the field today. Their expectations coming into the season, it's their first year of high school baseball. So I'd say the Broncos got to be happy with what they did today on the field.
Going to be a lot of fun. Join us again for more high school baseball. Simply go to our website, yourliveevent.com, for track and field to softball to baseball. We got a little bit of everything for you. Simply go to our website or search Your Live Event for the complete schedule coming up here throughout the rest of the month of April. And as we get into the month of May, we'll have the Region 1 baseball, Region 2 baseball, Region 1 softball, Region 2 softball as well for you here on yourliveevent.com. Until then, on behalf of Brent Dick, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Squirrels improved to 4-1 with a 2-0 win over the Lisbon Broncos.